Hi, I'm Mrs. Francis. This is a lesson about Dan Berggren's fabulous song about the Adirondacks. It's called Here's to You. And I'm going to stop and talk about some of the lyrics, ask questions, and I won't answer them. So teachers, you can stop the tape and have the kids discuss them if you like. Anyway, if you want Dan Berggren's CD, which I highly recommend, he's got a ton of them, mostly about the Adirondacks. He has a website, just Google Dan Berggren, and you'll find his Sleeping Giant website, I think it is, and absolutely buy lots of CDs. Dan gave us permission to tape this, and I thank him very much. So we start with the Native Americans up there. The Algonquin and the Iroquois, natives of the land, understood the balance between nature and man. Then the trappers and explorers, long since laid to rest, left us a path to follow in the northern wilderness. So those were the first people up there, the Native Americans, of course, the Algonquin and the Iroquois. And then trappers were looking, especially the French, were looking for, especially what kind of fur? You might want to stop and discuss this. What kind of fur were they looking for? Especially. Explorers, yeah, Champlain, of course, came down. That's how he got the lake named after him. Okay, and then the chorus is fun to sing. You can even do an echo with it. Here's to you, all the mountain people, here's to you, here's to you. Each woman, man, and child, here's to you, here's to you. Who call the Adirondacks your home forever wild. The forever wild phrase, of course, is from the legislation that made the Adirondacks the largest state park in the entire United States. And it was decreed that it would be forever wild. It's an interesting balance between wild and developed, but that's another whole issue. So what happened next? After the trappers and explorers, soldiers came in, the government. Communities grew up around the military forts. With water travel more secure, some settled lakeside ports. Pioneers from New England, across the lake they came, and settled down to form the western shores of Lake Champlain. So this is how the Adirondacks got settled. Once there was more security and protection by the soldiers, by the military forts, then the farming started mostly around the edges of Lake Champlain. There are some wonderful old villages along Lake Champlain where you can see just fabulous architecture from this time period. Very interesting. Okay, then the chorus again. We'll skip ahead to verse 3. Love to say this word. It's the French word for people from Quebec, Quebecois, Quebecois. Quebecois and Irish immigrants came here to cut the pines. Lumber was a huge industry. Others worked the forge and furnace, dug iron ore in the mines. The mining and the lumber brought new roads to carry goods. The railroads and the steamers brought more people to the woods. So again, the progression of civilization. First you've got roads necessary to bring all that lumber out to the waterways, to travel easily on the waterways, and lumber vehicles and carts and whatever. So once you've got a road, then people can find their way up there. Steamships and the railroad would brought the millionaires up from New York City who wanted to get out of the cities in the summer and experience some wilderness and fresh air. And so they would come by railroads, some private railroads, and the steamboats. So this is how the development gradually happened up there in the North Country. Like the last verse, it brings us up to date. The ups and downs throughout the years are seen in every face. You feel the seasons come and go and live a natural pace. That's life in these mountains, just look at history. They were here long before us. Now who was they? They were here long before us. You might want to talk about that. And they'll outlast you and me. Another clue. Here's to you, all mountain people, here's to you. Each woman, man, our home for a while. This song is also in a book that we've written. It's called Focus on New York State, and it's available through Teacher Creative Materials. One of the things you might want to discuss with your class is how you can find all 4 standards in this song. The 4 standards of New York State: history, geography, economics, and government. And all 4 standards are in this song. That's why it's such a brilliant social studies song. I've got a couple things here from the Adirondacks too. I've got my Adirondack pack basket. It's what the guides would carry all the rich people's stuff around in when they went fishing and hunting and so forth. Wish you could smell this balsam. The smell of the Adirondacks. Balsam pillows. It's one nice way to bring it home. And then, of course, I got my loom here. That's the sound of the Adirondacks, the northern woods. It's a little fuzzy baby loom. You gotta go sometime.